And joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, you might say, oh, this is Darryl Reynolds. Oh, okay. National champion, Villanova, 2016. That was cool. Well, how about this? Movie star, Darryl Reynolds. D-Ray, I went on a rant yesterday about the movie Hustle, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I forgot that you had a small part in it, but a part nonetheless. And your scene, I don't want to say when it is in the movie. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. No spoilers. But you make a cameo appearance, if you will. And how did this come about? How did you get involved in this? I know you're in filmmaking, but how did you get involved in this particular movie?
A friend of mine was connected to somebody in the casting process. And they first brought me on to help with camera testing and like which areas in Philly they wanted to go to. So I was low key like a scout, like, all right, this park looks good. This looks good. These how the team should be like put together. They had me doing a lot of behind the camera stuff. And then they were just like, you around these days. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So I get there and I'm like, all right, what role am I playing? They're like 76er. And I'm just like, okay. Like I get it. This is hilarious. And they gave my number too. I was so happy, but it was just like, all right, okay.
Well, here it is. You posted a picture on your Instagram account with Adam Sandler, which is a great picture. I have heard he is one of the look. I don't know anything about Hollywood, but I watch interviews and stuff, and I always grew up like watching Letterman and Leno, all those guys. Well, not Leno, but Letterman, and all the people talk about working with Adam Sandler is so great. What was it like getting the little time with Adam Sandler?
He's the nicest dude, man. Most down to earth dude. I don't know if it was like method acting because his character in the movie is just stressed out, but he was always tired. So either he just doesn't sleep or like he was just staying in character. But every time we see him, like, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing? He was like, tired. Like every time he saw us, but he was always high spirited and just a very genuine dude.
Mm-hmm. I will say this much. Obviously you got the uniform in, so people can people can put it together. You play a 76er. It's not like you're going to the park as a 76er. You're going to the Wells Fargo Center as a 76er. Mm-hmm. What was it like for you, someone who has played in that stadium, someone who obviously has heard crowds erupt when you do well? What was it like to do all that while having that jersey on with a packed Wells Fargo Center?
It was dope. It was kind of surreal because like the way they would have like the crowd queued up and to hear the cheering go on and off. But for me, I just, like you said, I'm in film. I love being on set and seeing how it came together. I'm gonna just spoil it. It wasn't packed. That is that is the magic of movies. It was not, but they framed the hell out of it. It looks packed in that scene. I was like, oh, this is how it happens. Okay.
That's insane. You're scouting, you're doing all this stuff, and then finally they say, "Hey, you know what? We could use you to actually play the role of a basketball player." Did I assume they knew your background, or did they just think they struck it rich with you?
No. They knew my background. I'd helped out with something. They've been shooting this for a while. I helped out with something. If it was 2021, they shot it. I helped out with something in 2020 during the pandemic, and they knew that I played ball. But I was happy with. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to be in it. I ain't gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, I just want to be behind the scenes. Like, no, I wanted a part. Yeah, I definitely wanted a part. I was like gonna be the first extra that snuck in the line. Like you see my shit in the subtitles. But no. Once we got on set, they were just like, oh no, this might work. You know what I mean?
Now, as someone who's a filmmaker, what did you take away from it from that aspect? I mean, you said how you put it all together, how they put it all together, how the movie magic, they wave that wand. What did you take away from it for someone who wants to be making more movies?
To be honest, this sucks to say in a way. That was the thing that was like, oh, I have to go to LA. Like I have to. Like I didn't know anything. It's so many things that go into making a movie. Like you said, that Wells Fargo scene. Although the arena wasn't packed, like the floor was, with how many people had different jobs, the amount of times they had one scene they had me dunking. I had to do it like 20 times. I was just like, damn, like it's so much that goes into this. I was like, all right, I need to move to LA and figure out how this happens on a regular basis because this shit is crazy.
I spoiler for some people, my brother is one of the extras at the Wells Fargo Center. Yeah. So if you see a taller, less handsome version of me. That's my brother. But he had said that it was just, an incredible experience, and everything, like you just said, you go and dunk a basketball. It's like, no, wait, lighting wasn't right. Let's stop down, do this again, and everything, different angles, of course. All of that are things that you got to sit through as an extra or anyone with a small part in this movie.
Yeah. It's tedious, but it was fun. I mean, and they were great. I don't know who exactly your brother was, but everybody in that crowd, like every time that energy was at the same point. So like I said, it was just a dope experience. And like the fact that the crew was so nice and just so easy to work with made it easier. But for me, I'm like a kid in a candy store, like, oh my God, all this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like just watch wow.
Yeah. I'll ask you this general question. What was the best part of the whole experience for you?
We had a scene where we're at the practice facility for the Sixers, the one right over the water. And I want to say we had like 4 or 5 hours between like scenes we had to shoot. We ended up playing like 3-on-3. So we're just like last time I was in there was when I was with the summer league team. So like I was like, this is dope, but like it was so much less serious. It was just like, all right, let's just hoop. Let's just hoop. We're playing like 3-on-3, 4-on-4, full court for like hours while they're shooting the scene in the other building. And then we had unsweaty for the next one. It was weird, but the play.
Now, can you say who was playing? Was it like Tobias Harris and Maxey and Thibault and those guys? What was going on?
They kept them on ice. Oh my God, they started to dribble too much. Somebody would come over. You know how it is. Somebody up top, whistles or does some type of noise. Everybody looks up, and they just kind of just are. You know what I mean? Like they were like the kids that were on punishment, low key. Like we were the ones outside. Like, come on, let your mom. Yeah, I mean, your mom said you can go a little bit further than the street. Like, man, come on. They like, nah, I'm under contract, chilling.
That's amazing. I can picture that. No, you can come past the street light. That's such a great analogy. No, the bell is ringing. I got to go home and eat dinner. Oh, that's insane. So the move out to LA now. Mm-hmm. I've spent like a day and a half in Los Angeles. I was out there covering a football game, and the vibe is totally different. What is different? What stood out to you between Los Angeles and Philadelphia in terms of culture, attitude overall of its citizens? What's the biggest difference here? And don't say the weather and the palm trees. None of the stuff I'll be jealous of.
That's a cop out.
Right.
What took me off guard here is I was in a taco shop. And there's like a million of them. I think there's more taco shops than like people out here. Like there's like for every one gas, there's like 5 taco shops. But I'm in one and somebody just walks up to me and starts talking. And the Philadelphian in me, like immediately, I didn't do it physically, but in my soul, I like squared up. Like, what the hell is about to happen? Like, what are we about to get into now? And I realized, like, people out here are just more friendly. They are a lot more friendly. I'm not gonna lie, it's taking me a while to get used to people just walking up and, starting to chit chat with you. But out here, because you can't get anything done on your own, and because people are I'm just gonna call it what it is, in a better mood. They're a lot more likely to walk up to you and just start rapping. So that was like the I'm not in Kansas anymore moment, because I was just like the way I turned around, like when I heard somebody behind me say something, I was like thinking I'm about to turn into a fist or some shit. And it was just like the happiest little guy just wondering what I did for a living. I was like, okay.
It's my go-to is always, what is this guy trying to sell me? What is he trying to sell me? Yeah.
Yeah. We're just on guard as Philadelphians. Like I think it's we're on a natural defense, and I was like, all right, I don't need it out here. But
yeah, you just got to crack through the shell first, and then we're soft as pudding. Anyway, so I just want to ask you one basketball question here, because we're looking at the 76ers offseason. Tyrese Maxey is involved in rumors, nothing substantial. Matisse Thybulle involved in rumors right now, nothing substantial. There's names being floated out there like Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal, being added to the James Harden and Joel Embiid 76ers. What do you see them doing by the time this offseason ends?
I'm gonna call it what it is. I see 2 steps forward and 1 back which is progress nonetheless. But I got to be honest, until they get rid of James Harden, I kind of don't want to hear anything.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not the first to say it. Because if you get on Twitter, you'll see it. To me, I put James Harden in the same folder as Carmelo Anthony. He's very interesting the first 82 games of the season. But for some reason, when April comes and those commercials flip over in the playoffs, I don't know what happens. Like he's not a winner. He's not a winner in my opinion. He's an entertainer. But just watching that last series unfold, watching those little riffs with him and Maxey on the bench, and I love Maxey. You know what I mean? Like you could tell he's a genuinely hardworking kid, kid. Like he's a decent dude. I see that Carmelo effect, like kind of how we know when they brought Carmelo over to the Knicks when they had Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton of all people doing great, and then they brought him in. And it was like it's something. You know what I mean? You don't mix these things like chicken and pork. You don't mix these two together. And just James Harden. No. I think they're gonna make a good move, but if they keep him, to me, like I said, that's the one step back.
All right, hold on. Chicken and pork. I haven't heard that one. I'll write that down. Hey, you know what? I just want to clarify one thing. So you weren't playing with Tyrese Maxey. You weren't playing with Tobias Harris. Who were you playing with on set of Hustle?
Oh my God, the other extras and people who were like in that huddle, like in the film. Like we were like the day in Wells Fargo, we were having like a half court shooting contest between scenes and stuff like that. Like, but we would just start playing. Yeah, it's a hoop, it's a ball. It's like, yo, we all got our sneaks on. Let's just play. But they were very adamant. Like I remember one point, because Seth was still on the team. He was at Wells Fargo and he started to shoot a little bit and started to get a little active. And like I said, hey, bring it back in. Let's get close to the stoop. Like that you can stay on the stoop, but do not venture off. We ain't get
stay on. That's incredible, D-Ray. I couldn't be more happy for you, man. It's so great to see it in the movie. And again, we're not giving anything away. But I'll just say you were great in it. There you go. D-Ray, what are you working on now, man? Just going out there and making movie magic?
Yeah, I'm learning, man. I'm learning. I've been doing a lot of interviews. So I'm out here. I'm working for a company within this Web3 space. So, this thing is all over the place. The NFT and crypto world is crazy. But I've been doing a lot of interviews, putting together stories, and then doing a lot of like just behind the scenes work of trying to figure out how things go, getting on every set that I can. I was on a set for a TV drama not too long ago. Like I'm talking like soap opera, not like Law and Order, like Gas, quick zoom in, like ABC, your grandmother's twist at like 11 a.m. That shit that comes on like at 11 a.m. That type TV, but just learning how it works. I'm low key back in school out here.
Man, that's great. Hey man, it's just super duper grad school. That's all it is, man. Good for you. That's great. Darryl Reynolds. Make sure you guys are following my man. Here's his Instagram picture again. So make sure you guys are checking him out on all the social media platforms, including his new best friend, Adam Sandler. So you guys will be hanging out all the time. Is it coming up? It's not. There it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Ray the director, Rey. Ray the director. Give him a follow on Insta. D-Ray, thank you so much, brother. Always great catching up with you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. The great Darryl Reynolds joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line.